So who are some of the greats that you remember racing here?
I remember Richard Petty starting his streak here. I remember Wendell Scott coming in, Rex White in that beautiful gold and white car, the red number 4 on it, Ned Jarrett being here. There's a list that when you look at the Hall of Fame that have come through Bowman Gray Stadium, it's like the who's who of NASCAR Hall of Fame racing that's been here.
The final event. How many of you think?
Burt Myers is going to pull off his ninth Grand Championship.
So this place is known as the Madhouse.
Bowman Gray Stadium.
Best track around.
If you've ever been here on a full moon and just seen the elements that can come out, you would understand why. I remember Bobby Allison, Curtis Turner, and something occurred during the race. Curtis spun Bobby out. Well, Bobby was never one to back down from anybody, and I think that's why he's one of the great champions.
Still today.
Still today. Well, the second time he spun him out, Bobby felt like that he needed to remind him that he was out there and that before the race was over, they're crossing the football field trying to ram each other. This is 1966. Now, it would be priceless to watch these two big Grand National cars going across the football field trying to wreck each other while the race was going on.
I think what's great about that is that we saw that happen here last year. We saw the same thing happen, and I think, you know, that's what this racetrack offers, right? Is that it's so small. In the groove, it's one groove. There's only one place you want to be, and everybody fights for that groove. And people get very, very frustrated with each other, especially racing each other here every week, you know? The frustration level has to be exceptionally high.
I think that's what adds to the excitement. The same token that you'll have these fans that are absolutely passionate to watch these cars go around. And let's face it, you and I both know it. Racing fans are some of the greatest fans of all time.
That is awesome. Going across the football field to get after you. That's cool. And it still happens today.
It still happens today. Just a different version of a car, but it's a repeated story.
So they just came across the football field at each other?
They came across the football field and would try to hit each other.
That's awesome. Met at the 50-yard line. So what is it about Bowman Gray? We heard you and Jeff talk about it there for a moment that creates, the great racing, but just the level of anger that's created at that place. I mean, it seems like there's a fight every week.
It's not a fight every week, but there's a lot of intensity. It's a very short season, so the intensity is ramped up. There's long-time rivalries there. It doesn't necessarily turn the competitors a whole lot, so they have a history. The two of the top drivers right now, their win totals are somewhere in the 80s and 90s. Wow. They've raced that long. I think Burt Myers just recently won his 10th or 11th championship.
Crazy
and Tim
thing.
Brown, his competitors, 10 championships.
Right.
So there's no turnover. It's the same. It's
Same
the same
guys.
cast of characters out there racing every
Long
second.
time to build up the hate, right?
Yeah.
So the feature that we see all the Drivers and Dreams, a documentary we did a few weeks ago, you can still catch it on our NBC Sports YouTube channel, is the thought that if you can make it there, you've made it at the toughest short track in the U.S.?
I would say that it's one of the toughest. There's some in each region. It is not a technical racetrack. It's just a tight, small racetrack. And the short race adds to the excitement level.
AJ, if you want, we'll get you a street stock and you can get in the race next year. Think that'd be fun?
I might have to, but all the videos and you see on social media, might to get to some bodyguards around me too. Because,
I would bring security. Just
I'm
saying, you know.
It was funny because when I came from IndyCar racing, I had never really been to a true short track. I mean, that's not what I grew up doing. And my first year moving here, I went to Bowman Gray, and I was like, what is this place? I was like, this is insanity, chaos. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, but this is awesome. Like, I love this place. So it's I love seeing the races there, the videos that go with it, because it's true passion and a little bit of craziness all mixed together.
And it's just 50 miles from Martinsville. The racing very similar, right?
The tightness of the racetrack, and it's carried over that most of the drivers that race in Sunday have gone through a short track now, and at some point, so they go to March, tight turns, long straightaways, a lot of intensity, and tight racing going into the turns.
Do you go just as a fan now, or do you go and you
No,
don't?
I just go as a fan.
Okay. Sit in the stands.
Sit in the stand.
That's
sit
awesome.
Sit with friends, and that's another beautiful part of it is that there's families there. It's the third and fourth generation are sitting there every Saturday night. That's
so
their
cool.
passion of it, which again, racing fans are the most passionate fans in the world.
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.